Just been to toilet, Alice. Alice? Alice? Where's she gone? Alice? Alice gone to toilet as well. This is my bed. That's Alice's bed. That's Dot's bed. This is my bed. Alice's bed. That's Dot's bed.
Sorry. Oops. What do you call magistrates? Are they your worships? I've never done anything like this before. I assume they just ask questions like in court. Well, obviously it is a court. But do they expect... Oh, God, this is all out of order. Hang on. Hang on. Oh, I will do this. I will. Your worships, I have been treating Miss Effie Palmer for the last 3 weeks.
Yes, miss.
Effie.
Yes, miss.
Yes, miss, yes, miss, yes, miss. Won't you try no, miss, for a change?
No, miss.
No, miss, you won't try saying no, miss, for a change, or?
I don't know, miss.
The patient, Effie Palmer,
Yes, miss.
was committed to the Crampton Court Mental Hospital under Section 2 of the 1913 Mental Deficiency Act. In as far as I can make out from various conversations with her, 1936. The original records were moved during the war and subsequently lost. The patient is now 64, but has an estimated mental age of 10.
Miss.
What?
Where's Alice gone?
Oh, Effie.
This is my bed. That's Alice's bed. That's Dot's bed.
At Crampton Court, Effie not here.
Somerville Ward. That's us, miss. Somerville.
Yes, I know.
That's a nice name, ain't it, miss? Like summer. Somerville. And we got yellow curtains. And yellow mats. With stripes. By our beds. And we got a big day room. My chair is the blue one by the telly. Where is this? I don't know where I am. Where's Alice gone?
Effie, you know about Alice.
I don't like it here. I don't like the way the walls are. Miss, my arms hurt. I hurt.
In the beginning, she wouldn't even speak to me. There's some batty old bird in room 7, said Mr. Jessup Brown. No, he didn't. He didn't say that, and be fair. But I knew what he meant. See if you can get any sense out of her, Dr. Kovacs. He said doctor with that slight sneer that means he expects nothing from me. Nothing except possibly the worst, which is, of course, what he looks forward to. Vindication. There you are, you see. What did I always say? More your territory, I'd have thought, he said, as if one of us were trespassing here on his wards. Effie Palmer, some sort of pyromaniac, set her bed on fire, burned the house down. Good morning. I'm Dr. Kovacs. Good morning. Are you asleep? I've come to have a look at your arms, please, Miss Palmer. I'll ask a nurse to come.
Oh, we don't want a bloody nurse.
What? Miss Palmer, I'm a doctor. I've come to look at your arms. What do you do? What do you do now? I used to think a white coat equaled authority. Obviously, it doesn't. I know. What would Mr. Jessup Brown do? He would say in that voice he uses for old ladies and difficult children, well, now, what's all this silly nonsense about? And pull the sheet off as swiftly and skillfully as he slices skin sections ready for grafting. Well, now, what's all this nonsense about, eh? Why should I? If she doesn't want me to look at her burns? Oh, no, that's stupid. It's just an excuse. Freedom of the individual, etc. Playing about with moral arguments simply to hide the fact that when I say things like that, nobody takes a blind bit of notice. Mr. Jessup Brown would say, get the ward, sister, get a nurse. I'll tell you something shameful now. The reason I became a doctor. The reason I became a doctor was because, well, you see, I don't know really. I look back and I try to think where the moments of choice were, or where I made a deliberate choice between this path and that. And I can't see any. Like a conveyor belt, once on. Oh, Ruthie, Ruthie, my mother used to say. A doctor in the family. If your grandmother Kovacs had only lived to see this. But what I really wanted to do was something delicate, something skillful like picture restoring. Because I actually quite like restoring things. But things, not people. Comprehensible, inanimate objects. Beautiful things. Smooth, ordered surfaces. Cool, pale colors. Have we examined our troublesome patient in number 7, Dr. Kovacs? No, sir, not yet. Well, not exactly. Well, I'm just on my way. Oh, there was a policewoman coming out. Good morning. Good morning. I'm Dr. Kovacs. I came in earlier to... Well, I came... I just wanted to have a quick look at your arms, that's all. This one first. Ooh, how did it happen? Oh, sorry. There's a slight infection in there. Where does it hurt most? Under there, and under the arm.
Yes,
there.
miss.
Well, you know to keep your arms up, don't you? Like this, in the air. And keep them moving, so the skin here keeps flexible.
Yes, miss.
I'm not a miss, I'm a doctor.
Yes, miss. Where's Alice gone?
Who?
Alice?
Alice who?
This is my bed. That's Alice's bed.
Which
That's
is
not bed.
Alice's bed?
That one?
There isn't a bed.
Yes, there is. At Cretton Court there is. Somerville Ward.
What about your face? Any trouble with the eyes?
You tell her, miss.
Tell who?
They come in here asking me questions. I don't know what I got to say.
Oh, you mean the policewoman?
Yes, tell her that I didn't have no matches.
What about opening your eyelids in the morning?
Knock, knock.
Pardon?
It's a joke, I know, miss.
Oh, that's very clever. I never know any jokes, I don't know why.
I know one. Knock, knock. You got to say, come in.
Come in. No, wait. Don't I have to say who's there?
No.
Pardon?
No, you can't come in. I read that in a comic once.
Oh, it's very good. No, I know. Why don't we start again?
No.
All right.
Are you going now?
In a minute.
Right.
Yes.
You coming back?
I expect so, yes. It depends.
I don't like them doctors.
I am a doctor.
I thought you was something different.
No.
I thought you was.
Well, like what?
Don't ask no silly questions, my mum said. You won't get told no lies.
Well, it wasn't a silly question, was it?
I don't know who you are, do I? I mean, there's all sorts that come in here asking me questions. Social workers, community workers, I can't remember them all.
Psychiatrists?
Them as well, yes. You was going.
Yes. Oh, remember to keep your arms up. It'll stop any swelling.
And tell them that I didn't have no matches.
And I'll come and see you tomorrow. Shall I? All right, I said. I'll do it. Very keen. Very keen all of a sudden, said Mr. Jessup Brown. However, since Dr. Kovacs is obviously on the same wavelength as a problematic patient in number 7, let us leave her to it. And we, his little team, his white-coated phalanx of residents and interns, we all laugh on cue. Ha ha. As we trot along the corridors behind him, white coats flapping, all jostling to catch his attention, to get his ear. And they're all thinking, thank God for Ruth Kovacs, thank God it's her he's got it in for, and not me. I can hear them thinking it. And the relief makes their laughter that little bit wilder. And my hair is escaping, and there is a ladder in my tights, and a burning in the back of my eyes. Oh, Lord, please, please don't let me cry. Cry? Good Lord, no, ha-ha, as I scramble along in the rear trying to keep up, ha-ha, in case anyone should think I haven't got a sense of humor. In case anyone should say, oh, come on, Ruth, can't you take a joke? 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 Well, the thing I liked about Effie, one of the things that I liked about Effie, was that she didn't understand about jokes either.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
You are. And I didn't hear no knocking.
No, sorry, in hospital.
I never did it, miss.
Never did what?
That house they took us, the Laurels, they said I'd done it on purpose, stole the matches and set my bed on fire.
And did you?
I didn't have no matches, I told you.
So how did the fire start? It was a very bad fire, Effie, not just the bed.
I didn't say it was just the bed. I said it started in the bed.
How? Oh, it's all right. It doesn't matter to me.
What'd you come for then?
Well, I came to look at your arm.
It's my face that hurts now.
Well, let's remove the dressing, shall we?
Well, you can if you want to. Are you one of them social workers?
No, I am a doctor.
Did you come to spy on me?
No, of course not.
It's a funny name. Kovacs.
Well, it's Czech. No, German. Well, no, Czech. Well, we say, my family it's difficult to say precisely. My family says we came from Czechoslovakia, the Sudetenland. Sometimes it was one thing, sometimes another, depending. But on who was in power. Not us, that's for certain. Pushed here, shoved there, we landed up stateless refugees till we crept through the back door into this country. Don't complain, my mother used to say. Answer nicely, don't rock the boat. We've got our freedom, and that's enough.
You're German then?
Well, I'm not anything now. Oh, British now. Really.
You're a doctor?
Yes.
I don't like that one that come in a suit.
Mr. Jessup Brown.
Don't like him.
No, not. I think we can leave that dressing off now. Just be careful not to scratch it, Effie.
I've seen men like him before. They're bossy men. Men that get everybody rushing around like chickens when the fox gets in the barn. My dad was a bossy man. This is my bed, that's Alice's bed, that's Dot's bed. I don't like it here. Them walls, they're too close in, I want to go home.
Where is home?
Where I live. The blue chair by the telly, that's mine.
Somerville Ward?
Oh, it's better than Anderson, miss. I don't like them on Anderson. Mavis, she's spiteful. She hits people when she's in a bad mood. She pulled my hair once. Where's Alice gone?
What?
Alice is my friend.
Oh, well, I don't know, but I can try and find out for you, shall I? Alice who?
Oh, Alice. She come when I come. Same day, roundabout. And she had long hair on a plait and they cut it off. They never give her back her ribbon.
And this was when you came to Somerville Ward?
Crown Court.
Well, that's what I mean.
Wasn't on Somerville straight away. Somerville is a very good ward. For the very, very, very special ones.
Oh.
I've been there years.
How long?
Years.
How many years?
Oh, years and years and years.
10 years?
Somerville, Cranton Court Hospital, Draycott. That's my address, miss. England, the world.
You got letters?
Letters?
Yes, do you remember your address before that, Effie?
I never got no letters, miss. What do you mean?
I mean, before you went to Crampton Court, where did you live? Didn't your mother write to you?
My mother. On the farm.
You lived on a
On
farm
the farm.
when you were a little girl?
Do you know what my real name is, miss?
Effie isn't your real name.
No, miss.
What is?
Gloria.
Gloria?
Out of this film that my mum saw, some film star. My dad says, what do you want to waste a name like that on her for? I never told no one that, miss. He said, she's daft to the head. You don't want to waste no posh name on her.
Gloria Swanson?
Don't want to waste no posh name on that effing brat. So he called me Effie.
Oh, you made that up.
I didn't.
Effie short for effing?
Yes, miss.
I don't believe it. You're telling stories.
It's short for effing brat.
Either you made that up or you've got it all wrong.
Yes, miss.
You must have done.
Yes, miss.
Will you stop saying yes, miss?
Yes, miss.
I'll come and see you tomorrow. Don't say it, all right? Don't say it. I don't know why that stupid... Oh, I didn't believe a word of it. Not a word of it. Mind, not entirely on your work, Dr. Kovacs. Not really, no, Mr. Jessup Brown. No, I didn't say that. Of course I didn't say that. I said, I'm sorry. I'm awfully sorry. I don't know why that stupid story upset me so much. Dr. Kovacs is not entirely with us this morning, it seems. Poor old Ruth getting it in the neck again. And listen to them snigger sycophantically. And in my head, I say, stuff you, Mr. Jessup Brown. But all the while, my mouth is laughing, and my feet scramble along in the rear, trying to keep up. Sorry, sorry. And my head nods up and down. Yes, sir. How very clever, sir. Oh, fancy us not realizing that, sir. And oh, what an immensely clever and gifted man you are, sir. The trouble is, he is immensely clever, immensely gifted. In theatre, I forget. I watch him. He has ginger hairs on the backs of his hands. He holds his hands out for the gloves. Tufty ginger hairs and dry skin, biscuit-colored freckles, and those stubby, repulsive little hands. The delicacy, the skill. You should see him. He takes the knife, skims away a wafer of donor skin, places it, a smooth, pale surface, masking the raw wound, the angry tissue, the pain. For goodness sake, Dr. Kovacs, stop crowding me. I'm so fascinated, though. That's the trouble. I forget. The artistry of it. The reconstruction of surfaces. Sometimes he passes the Watson knife to me. But his presence there paralyzes me. I can feel his criticism burning through my neck. He grows impatient. He grows irritated and loses all patience. No, not like that. Good God. The trouble is, having drifted into this by mistake, no, not by mistake, more by an inability to make the right decision, or indeed any decision at all, I have now found the one thing that fascinates me, the one thing I choose to do. Donald Preston has got a job in one of the London teaching hospitals. That means there's a vacant residence post. I chose. I made a decision. I put in an application. Oh, I won't get it. I know that. But still. Good morning. Oh, you're still... look, I am sorry if I upset you yesterday.
I remember him saying it. Effing brat. He did say it. All the time. I could have made the other up, though. I don't remember.
Oh, you've been touching your head. That's how infections start. And what about your arms? Any swelling?
No.
Let me see. And what about the matches?
What matches?
Did you make that up too?
I never had no matches. I told you.
Well, that's what I mean. Was it a story as well?
Oh, matches was against the rules, so I couldn't have had none, could I? No matches, no food in your room, no visitors after 11, no smoking.
At Crampton Court.
Crampton Court? Oh, no, miss, the law rules. This house they took us. They come into Somerville one day and they say, oh, see, ain't this nice, Effie? You're going to have your own room in your own house.
Effie, fires don't just start for no reason.
No scissors, no alcohol, no putting your bed where you want it.
Effie?
They can do.
Not in the middle of beds, they don't. The fire started in the middle of your bed.
You've been checking up on me.
Well, we have notes on all our patients.
Well, I said that, didn't I? I mean, I always said that it started in the bed. It's them what says I'm lying.
So you must have had
Whoosh! Burn your house down!
matches, a lighter,
Whoosh!
something, Effie, something.
They said, it'll be ever so nice for you there, Effie, at the Laurels. Free to do whatever you fancy, have your hair done, go to the pictures. We had the pictures every Saturday night at Crampton Court, in the dining room. And on Fridays we had a dance. And on Sundays, they come and they sung for us. You know, choirs and that. We had little girls come doing their dancing for us once, miss. Oh, they was ever so pretty. Hi, hi, little hen, when will you lie me an egg for my tea? Tap, shuffle, tap, tap, tap. And on Mondays, we had library. And on Tuesdays, we had our hair done and the beauty lady, if you wanted your nails and that done. And on Thursdays, they come to do our feet. We was ever so busy, miss. They said, you'll have a lovely room all your own at the Laurels, Effie.
You didn't like it?
I had a cupboard once.
Pardon?
Cupboard.
Oh, you mean for keeping your clothes in?
Oh, I don't think I had no clothes.
Oh, well, you must have had clothing, Effie. Well, what was in the cupboard then?
Things. Boots. Gun. Oh, some old rags. Odd bits of things.
Oh, on the farm.
And I used to sit in there all by myself. Lavender's blue, dilly dilly, lavender's green. When I am queen, dilly dilly, you will be king. Knock knock, who's there? Noah, Noah who? Noah, you can't come in here ever, 'cause 'tis my room in here, mine.
What cupboard?
Lavender's green. When I am queen, dilly dilly, you will be king.
Effie?
Knock knock, who's there?
Iron, for goodness sake!
That's not funny, miss.
Well, then why are you laughing?
It's supposed to be a joke, miss. You spoiled it.
No, Effie, you spoiled it. I am supposed to say who's there.
No rules, miss. Not in jokes.
There are, Effie.
Always work with Alice. Things she said. Where's Alice gone?
Oh, Lord, that can't be right. I have to come tomorrow, all right? Effie,
Yes, miss.
Due in theatre 20 minutes ago, in trouble again, blah, 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 as if I were 14. A lecture on my responsibility to the other patients. A lecture on my responsibility to the team. Yes, Mr. Jessup Brown, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I got held up. Fundamental rule, Dr. Kovacs. We do not get involved in our patients' problems. Leave it to the medical social workers. I know. in the afternoon, I rang Crampton Court. Alice who? They said. I'm afraid I don't know, just Alice. Well, we've got several Alices here, they said. Alice, who was a very good friend of Effie Palmer's? Oh, Alice Whittingham, you mean? Transferred to the Laurels, one of our rehabilitation hostels. I was using the phone in Sister's office. Ah, he said, poking his head around the door. Dr. Kovacs, Sister not in. Never mind, wanted a quick word with you anyway. I was caught completely off guard. He said he had been thinking very seriously about things. He had, of course, very carefully considered my application for the residency. However, nevertheless, fundamentally, and he started calling me Ruth. Fundamentally, Ruth, and this is in no way a criticism of your work, isn't it? No, Ruth, my dear, indeed, no, fundamentally, and indeed temperamentally, I feel you're not entirely suited to this sort of unit. A lot of women find that, you know. So avuncular, so nice. Suddenly, no jokes, not one. Yes, Ruth, my dear. Fundamentally and indeed temperamentally, they find they're generally much happier and much more effective working in general practice. Oh, I don't want to go into general practice. I don't want that. I'm going to be a surgeon. That's what I should have said. I should have said, Mr. Jessup Brown, but I didn't. I didn't say anything. I was completely... Well, my dear, he said, you think it over. Give it careful thought.
What's the matter, miss?
Nothing.
Well, you look sick, miss.
Let's just have a look at that infected arm. Did you hold it still?
I am holding it still. 'Tis you, miss. You bad, dirty Effie.
Hold it still.
Bad inside. Festering.
Rubbish. It isn't festering. It's drying up, healing very nicely.
They said I was.
Who did, Effie?
Bad, dirty Effie. I was in my cupboard when they come for me.
When who did, Effie? I don't know what you mean.
In a van. Come screeching up the line and into the yard. My dad said, she's in there. She's in there. You get her. And then they pulled open the door and they dragged me out. I was kicking, screaming. I bit one of them. And then they pushed me into the van and they sat on me.
Who did, Effie? Who were they?
And they tied my hands up like this.
Do you mean round here like that?
Yes.
And then they took you to Crampton Court.
In a van. And my mum stood there in the yard with a face like stone, watching.
Your mother?
Like stone.
How old were you?
12. 13. Don't want to waste no pretty name on that effing brat.
They took a 13-year-old away in a straitjacket?
Because I was kicking him, so.
Well, there's no reason I'd have kicked him too, I think.
And they gave me an injection, miss. And me and Alice, we wasn't on Somerville then. No, we was downstairs on the unmanageable. She was unmanageable too. My dad, see, miss, my dad, he went to the council and they had me on a section.
Well, what on earth had you done?
I don't know. I don't remember. The bad, dirty
Well, don't
dreams.
touch it.
I don't want to talk about it, miss.
All right, Effie. We'll leave this dressing off, then, and if it itches, let's see. Don't scratch it. All right, Effie. I said if it itches, don't scratch it. And I'll get the nurse to come and put some cream on it later, and that will help you sleep.
Oh, I don't want to sleep. Bad dreams.
Straight to the phone. Cramden Court. Yes, I did. I did ring you earlier about Alice Whittingham. Yes, I now need some information about my patient, Effie Palmer. And they said, very sorry, but we can't go into details because the relevant records were lost during the war. Yes, but that was over 40 years ago. I mean, why wasn't she released? And they said, well, she was released, Dr. Kovacs, last summer. She was moved to the Laurels when the long-stay wards were closed. They explained that it was now government policy to move as many of the long-stay patients as possible into the community. Why was she there in the first place? And they said, well, as far as they knew, she'd been categorized under Section 1, Part D of the 1927 Amendment. What does that mean? It means that she was classed as a moral defective. Well, what on earth is a moral defective? A not very bright little girl of 13 classed morally defective? On whose terms? Good morning. Sleep well?
No.
No, nor did I.
Bad dreams. I keep remembering things. Police come.
Oh, did they? What did they say?
There's going to be a hearing, miss, about the fire.
That looks all right.
No, it don't. I've seen it in the mirror, miss.
It'll look better when it's healed up. By the way, I rang up Crampton Court for you yesterday. I found out about your friend Alice.
Alice? Where's she gone to?
Well, they said that she'd been transferred to the Laurels. So you were both transferred to the Laurels. She was with you.
Stupid nine. There weren't no Laurels. There weren't no nothing. Just a little spitty bit of a garden. They come into Somerville and they say, oh, Effie, see, we're going to close Somerville Ward. I said, close it? You can't close it. Didn't know what the meant is. And then I chose the curtains, miss. Yellow ones. They said, oh, Effie, we're going to get new curtains on Somerville. What colour would you like? And I said, yellow. And it was safe there. We had the telly. Me and Alice, we had real good times. I knew the staff, everybody. Hello, Effie. Morning, F. Feeling okay today, F? Everybody. You could walk in the gardens if you wanted to. You could sit there if it was warm enough, see everything. How can you close it? I said. said, don't you worry, Effie. You're going to have your own room in your own house and you can do whatever you like in it. Well, I got my own room. This is my room. This is my bed. That's Alice's bed. That's Dot's bed. I got yellow curtains.
Careful with your arms, Effie.
They wanted it, miss, not me. I would have chose to stay. But no, we all had to go whether we wanted to or not. And they kept saying, ain't you a lucky girl then, Effie? Ain't you lucky? And then this van come, like we was all going to Weston for the day, and we had to get in. And me and Alice, miss, we sat like this. And they said, oh, gonna take you to your new house, Effie, you'll like that. No, I won't. Oh, yes, you will. You get to do what you want now. Well, that was a lie. Because what I wanted to do was to go home. I wanted to go back to Somerville, but I couldn't do that now, could I? You don't know where she's got to there now, miss.
I don't know where she is now, but I can do some more investigating if you like.
Yes, and you tell that policeman that I didn't have no matches.
Effie, at that time, they came for you in the van?
Oh, me and Alice, miss, we sat like this.
Not that time.
Oh.
The first time. When you were in the cupboard.
And me mum watching, face like stone.
That time. Why did they come?
I don't know.
What had you done?
I don't know. I don't remember. Oh, see. Well, I could have minded it up. I don't remember. I can't. See, one time I was looking for where this hen we had was lying. She was in the field edges, and I was crawling through the hedges trying to find where she was lying. And this man, he come down the line and he seen me. And what he done was he pushed me through to the other side. And he done it to me.
Did you know the man?
No. I'd seen him before, but I didn't know his name.
Did you tell anyone?
No.
How old were you?
11 or 12. I didn't know what he was going to do at first. See, he was so rough pushing me through to the other side. I thought he was going to kill me. Every time he seen me, he done it. And then this other one, he started. He worked over Potter's farm on the other side of the wood.
Did anyone tell you it was wrong? What these men were doing?
My mum and dad done it.
Well, yes.
I seen them do it.
I suppose so.
I don't know. I didn't think about it. It was just how it was. And then this one from Potter's farm, he give me sweeties. He give me a ribbon once. Where'd you get that? My dad said. Found it. I said, in the wood.
So you did know it was wrong.
I don't know. Say, where'd you get that?
Where'd you get that?
Now, say it in a bad voice.
Where'd you get that?
I found it. See? Frightened me. So I told a lie. Found it. So, then I starts to get fat, see, like this. My dad says it 'cause she eats too much. My mum thinks, oh no, it ain't. So she takes me down to see her sister, and she says, is it what I think it is, sissy? And then they dug their fingers in like that. And she says, yes, it is. And my mum says, oh God, how am I going to tell him? Effie, who done this to you? And my auntie says, 'Tis no good asking her that, Win. She's too daft. She don't know what you're saying. And my mum said, Effie, have any men come along and took your drawers down and done them sorts of things to you? And I said, yes. And my auntie said, you're going to have to do something with her, Win. And then we goes home. And my mum's crying. And my dad says, effing brat, underneath the field edges with any dirty old bugger comes sniffing around. Ha, she's got a name for it now, ain't she? Any bugger wants it, go find Effie Palmer, he'll give it to you. And then the van come, and my dad said he was going to beat me, bloody flare alive, he said. So I went into my cupboard and I held onto the door when anybody come, and I wouldn't let go. No, would not let go. And my dad says, oh, leave her, Win, she'll come out when she's hungry. But I wouldn't say, I wouldn't. And then the van come and they pulled open the door and they dragged me out, and I was kicking and screaming, and they pushed me into the van and they sat on me. I couldn't breathe, miss. And my mum's face was like stone watching.
What happened to the baby?
What?
The baby.
What baby?
Your baby.
I don't remember no baby.
You don't remember the baby being born?
Yes, I remember that. I remember the pain. It was a little girl, miss.
What happened to her?
I don't know.
Did you ask?
Can't have a baby living here, can we, Effie? Crampton Court is not a proper place for a baby. Don't you worry, we'll find a nice home for her. I don't know.
Oh, Effie.
I'm tired now, miss. Will you come back tomorrow?
Yes.
Are you crying, miss?
No. Just. There he was. He and his team at the end of the corridor. What an honor! Ah, what a privilege! Behold, Dr. Kovacs, more or less, minus a hairpin or two. Looking a little disarranged today, are we, Dr. Kovacs? Not, I hope, allowing our emotions to get the better of us, are we? No, sir. Everything under strict control. Yes, I actually said that straight to his face. You know, I think if everything were not under strict control all the time, why, then I think the ceilings would crack and the floors would open up and the roofs would fly off slate by slate into the air, and the girders would buckle, and the pavement would open up, and the forest would rip apart and swirl into the clouds, and the seas would boil, and the skies grow black. But as it is, I keep the surfaces smooth, and I cover up the pain, because it is the only way. The only way.
You're crying, miss.
No, I've just got a lot on my mind, and I can't decide what to do.
Well, you do what you want, miss. Don't you let them tell you stories. Ain't you a lucky girl, then? Ain't this nice, then, Effie? Is it dinner time yet?
Soon. Why are you hungry?
Well, they said when you get to the Laurels, Effie, you'll be able to have your dinner whenever you want to have your dinner. And Alice said, well, so what? Granton Court, whenever we wanted to have our dinner, we always had our dinner, because whenever we wanted to have our dinner, it was always dinner time, wasn't it?
And whenever you were ready for bed, it was always bedtime, is that right?
Yes, miss.
It's called institutionalization, Effie.
Yes, miss. Well, they said, this is the kitchen, Effie. This is where you can make your dinners. And this is Mrs. Williams. She'll come in, she'll give you a hand, help with the shopping and that. I didn't like it. And they said, this is your room, Effie. I couldn't sleep in there. I'd never slept on my own before. Never. The dark come pressing in at the windows. I didn't know where I was in there. Couldn't sleep. Oh, never you mind. F-love, I know what us'll do, Alice said. And so what we did was we pushed my bed into Alice's room. But Mrs. Williams and the social workers, they said, oh, no, dear, you can't do that. And Alice said, well, you said we could do what we want to now, and we did. This is what we want, ain't it, F? But Mrs. Williams said, oh, yes, but moving beds about is against the rules. You had rules at Cranton Court, didn't you? And I said, yes. But at Cranton Court, we didn't have to go moving the beds about because we was all right there, weren't we? She always come out with a good answer, Alice. So we put Alice in the room downstairs. Knock, knock. Who's there? Nobody. Nobody. She wasn't there. She wasn't in her room. She wasn't in the kitchen. She wasn't in the lounge. Not in the toilet. Not in the bathroom. Where's Alice gone? Alice was a disruptive influence and done you no good. Now, we think you'll both be better off and settle down a lot faster if you're apart for a while. So what we've done is we've moved Alice to another house. I said, what house? She can't go moving people about just 'cause it suits you. Tell you what they didn't like, miss. They didn't like it when Alice and me had a good laugh together. You find her, miss. You find her. And then we'll go home.
All morning on the phone with the local authority, I learned a lot. Alice Whittingham, age 14, committed under Section 2, moral defective. Her father, an insurance clerk, her mother, a housewife. Could neither of them, in their cramped pre-war suburban gentility, cope with the social disgrace of having a daughter they'd found to be 6 months pregnant, let alone with the stigma of having a daughter who was a bit lacking. Yes, but where is she now? Well, she was released when they closed the long stay wards. She was released, transferred to the halfway house. Yes, I know. To the Laurels. That's right, to the Laurels. Profoundly uncooperative, it says, yes. Subsequently moved to Heatherwood. Well, where's that? On the other side of town, near the bypass. Another one of our halfway houses. Oh, dear. Cerebral embolism, it says here. October 28th. Did you know about that? Died November 1st. Alice Whittingham is dead? That's right. as a result of being mucked about once too often. No, Dr. Kovacs, as a result of a massive stroke. She was 67. I don't think there's any need to be abusive. Oh, no, of course not. I am sorry. I am so sorry. And there I am, apologizing again. Yes, there is every bloody need to be abusive. Every bloody need. Two little girls who weren't very bright, who innocently offended against what I think are called the prevailing social mores, were put away behind locked doors, nice and tidy, and forgotten about, because they were an embarrassment to public respectability. And the years passed, and they grew to be two old ladies who'd made a life for themselves in a quiet, ordered place. All right. It was a lunatic asylum. Crompton Court was an ugly piece of Victorian institutional architecture. But they walked in the gardens. They had their films, and they chose their curtains. Meantime, society says, as society meantime changes, dear me, what a shocking thing we've done, and what a lot of money we're wasting. Let's kill two birds with one stone. Two birds with one stone. I'll have to tell that one to Effie. It's a joke. Okay. Let's give these two old ladies their freedom and save a lot of money while we're at it. But the two old ladies are frightened. It's a useless gift. Freedom? They don't know what to do with it. Freedom to them is the safe space they've always known, surrounded by ordered gardens, and not some tiny little room surrounded by infinite chaos. I mean, people should be very careful when they bandy words like freedom about. Well done, Dr. Kovacs. Never heard you quite so eloquent. Well done. And where are you going now, Dr. Kovacs? You realize you're due in surgery in 10 minutes. I'm sorry. I've got something very important to do first. Dr. Kovacs, you are assisting me in surgery. We started precisely 2 o'clock in 9 minutes' time. How am I going to tell her?
I thought you wasn't coming.
I got held up. I've been on the phone.
Police come again.
Did they? Well, it'll be all right, Effie.
What do you keep saying that for? You don't know that.
No, I'm sorry, I don't. I just think.
There's going to be a hearing, miss. What will they do? Where will I go?
Effie, I found out about Alice for you.
Alice is dead, ain't she?
Yes.
I remembered. It come through suddenly.
It was a stroke.
They come and they told me. I was thinking all night, where had they sent her? And then I remembered. I was in my room And they said, come on, Effie, why don't you take a nice walk down the shops? Why don't you come downstairs and watch the telly? Where's Alice gone? And they said, you move all of that furniture away from the door and you come out of there and we'll explain about Alice. I said, no, you tell me now, and then I'll come out. And then they said that Alice isn't with us anymore. They said what a blessing it was, really. And I sat there on my bed, and everything in here started boiling up. You got something to say, Effie? I didn't know what to say to them. There was so much boiling up in here that I was afraid that if I opened my mouth, if I let it out, so I didn't say nothing to them. I just sat there with my mouth closed. All right, Effie, you want to be alone. We'll leave you alone. And in the darkness, pressed in at the windows, and I could hear the boiling getting louder and louder. And I was afraid that...
Then what, Effie? Then what?
And then it poured out of my mouth, out of my arms. Great walls of it, streaking up them silly curtains and dancing all around the room. I burned our house down, miss. I did. I burned it down.
Yes, you did, Effie. You did.
I did. I burned it down, and I can do it again. They'll have to take me back to Crampton Court now, won't they, miss? Won't they?
I don't know, Effie. I don't know what they'll do.
Will you speak for me, miss? Will you at the hearing?
Me?
Will you tell them it'll be all right then?
Oh, no. No, not necessarily.
But you got the words. You can explain.
No. No, I can't explain that. They'll say, Dr. Kovacs, you are a rational human being. You know very well how fires start. You are a scientist.
Yes. And then you'll say, it don't matter whether she had matches or not. Do it. That's not the point. It's got nothing to do with it. And then you'll tell them. Will you, miss?
All right. I'll try. I said, I'm taking Wednesday off. I'm giving evidence in court. And he opened his mouth to say something. Something exquisitely painful. Oh, another small pinprick. Too small, really, to complain about without sounding absurdly petty. But when added together with all the other small pinpricks, but before he could shape it, before he could dip it in poison, I said, don't bother. This is not a request. And I may as well tell you, I am not withdrawing my application for the residency. I know I won't get it, but I'm not withdrawing it either. And I'm not going into general practice either, simply to suit you, to suit your prejudices. And while I'm on the subject, I suggest you find someone else to laugh at now. because I'm really very bored with it, and no one actually finds it funny. No, of course I didn't. I didn't say that. But something like it. Something very like it. And he knew what I meant.
Indiana Press, how you